ENTJ feelings and emotions, how the ENTJ handles inner feelings. ENTJs are often viewed as cold or unfeeling people, but this is not true at all. Stereotypes come from misunderstanding people and situations, so reaching that deeper level of understanding is important. ENTJs still experience emotions just like everyone else, even more than people realize. They just don't express them or process them in the same way as most people might expect or be used to. ENTJs have their own way of responding to emotions and ultimately try to make decisions based on logic and facts, but this doesn't mean they don't still feel things deeply. Their inferior function. For the ENTJ, their feeling function isn't something high up in their stack, so it isn't the strongest of their processes. Their inferior function is phi, or introverted feeling, which is normally focused on internal emotions and understanding oneself. This is something that the ENTJ uses, just not the same as someone who would use this function dominantly. For the ENTJ, their phi helps them gain a firm sense of self rooted in their moral beliefs. While ENTJs might not allow emotions to rule them or their decisions, they play a role in certain aspects of their lives. They care about doing the right thing, they just filter this information through facts and evidence. They want to be sure they are doing the right thing, so they sometimes use this inner sense of morals to give them a deeper insight. ENTJs don't completely neglect this function. They simply focus more on facts. For the ENTJ, knowing concrete information helps them to be secure in their choices. They don't want to allow emotions to control their decisions since they don't entirely trust these inner feelings. This doesn't mean that emotions are meaningless to the ENTJ. It simply means they don't want to allow them to dominate their lives and decisions. For the ENTJ, it is important to ensure that when they take action, they are using their inner minds and facts in order to move forward. Their introverted feeling makes the ENTJ more focused on their own inner emotions than the emotions of others, and often is how their morals come into play when it comes to their own lives. They can often bury their feelings. ENTJs sometimes have a hard time fully processing their own emotions, so they tend to bury them and bottle them up. ENTJs don't understand how to respond to these emotions, so they sometimes neglect them. This doesn't mean they don't experience feelings with the same depth and intensity as others. It just isn't something the ENTJ naturally feels comfortable handling. Sometimes, it feels easier for them to push those emotions aside and focus more on getting things done efficiently. Since ENTJs value efficiency so much, they don't prioritize emotions or feelings, which can be fleeting and get in their way regarding certain actions. ENTJs don't want to deal with these things they don't understand all that well, since this can trip them up. Since emotions aren't something they can really peg down as factual, it becomes something the ENTJ tends to avoid, especially when working. They bury their feelings because they don't fully know how to process or understand them, making it difficult to do so. While they might bury these feelings inside, it doesn't make them any less real for the ENTJ. Sometimes it can even cause these inner emotions to build stronger, since they spend so much time trying to ignore them and what it actually means for the ENTJ. There are times when these feelings can really build up and cause them to have moments where they feel overwhelmed by them, even if people don't notice this expressed outwardly. They show affection differently. Since ENTJs do have a tendency to prefer focusing on things in a more direct manner, they might not show their love and affection in an emotional way. Since they prefer to be more factual, the way the ENTJ expresses their feelings is often in practical ways. They want to be able to show someone they care, so they try to tend to their physical or practical needs. Instead of using emotions, the ENTJ tries to find ways to improve their loved ones' lives and help them find solutions to their problems. For the ENTJ, using these means of helping someone is the best way to show that they really care, since they value getting things done and finding ways to accomplish their goals. ENTJs might not be emotionally expressive people, but when they work hard to help someone, this is how they express these inner feelings. For the ENTJ, practical means are things they actually understand and know how to process, so they are much more capable of using these things to help and make a real difference. While it can be hard for some people close to the ENTJ since they really don't find it easy to express affection or their inner emotions, they can do this in their own ways, which are deeply true and sincere for the ENTJ.